So I just wanted to put together a little video here about mollies in saltwater. I've had different people say that they wonder if you can have mollies in saltwater, if you can have mollies in saltwater, how they do, what it takes to get them in saltwater. I have 2 mollies in saltwater right now. I've actually used them to help cycle my tank. It's a method that I guess years ago when I started this, that was kind of the way that we did it. We didn't have all the nutrifying bacteria and that type of stuff. You're talking 30 years ago. Having mollies was a cheap alternative for that. So I just did a video here just showing process, and then also I actually have towards the end of the video the molly actually gave birth in the tank, so I thought I'd show that as well. I hope you enjoy this video. Please like, subscribe, comment. If you do like this here with the different type of fish, that type of thing, let me know, because I would be interested in you know, doing this kind of thing on specific fish. That's not a problem. Alright, so what I'm doing here is I have 2 black mollies. Well, they're spotted, I guess. But mollies actually can live in saltwater and freshwater. Obviously, freshwater is what you more commonly see. They're fairly inexpensive, and I wanted to throw them in here while I'm cycling this tank, just so I have something to feed, something to create a little ammonia. I'm going to be putting these 2 mollies in. I will be putting them in a bucket, adding salt water slowly to get them ready for the tank. So what I did is I floated these mollies right in the salt tank, and then I've dumped them into this bucket. This is just the water that they came with. I'm going to take this glass, I'm going to take it up here, and I'm going to dip some water out of the tank and then dump it in here. 1 glass or half a glass. Wait for 10-15 minutes, and I'm going to repeat that for about an hour. At that point, I'll check the salinity. We'll see if the salinity in this water is the same as what my tank is, which it should be close. And then at that point, we will transfer them into the tank, and we'll have mollies living in saltwater. So early when I started setting up this fish tank, before I even had the live rock in here, I decided to put a couple mollies in here. They're both still in here. It just seems to be one right here on this side swimming. I know there's been some questions as to whether mollies can make it in a saltwater tank or not. I think this is pretty much proof that yes, they can definitely make it. This molly's been in here for close to a month and a half now. Not only is they flourishing, but this one has put on considerable amount of weight. I'm fairly confident that she's pregnant, and that she will be having babies. I do hope to catch that, just to give you guys an update and show you how mollies really will flourish in a saltwater tank. The problem with mollies in a saltwater tank is they're not a very strong fish. Strong currents and other saltwater fish can easily overtake them, but if they're in a tank by themselves, like this, or even with guppies, guppies are also adaptable to saltwater, they do quite well. And you can have the salt, even though they are technically a brackish water fish, they can take the regular salt levels of a saltwater tank. I hope to have more footage of this molly and her babies shortly. I'm trying to put together a little bit of a stream here with this molly, just because I have so many questions as to whether mollies can truthfully adapt to saltwater. Once again, I do believe this would be proof for that. I also did just recently get this algae scrubber / magnifying glass, if you can see in the picture there as you go down to it. I can pretty much slide that around on the tank to any location I'd like, and once I get corals in there, other things, fish, I can simply just go right into that. Be nice for taking pictures, getting close-ups. See how nice I can get right on that rock that's in there. All this hopefully will be coming as the tank cycles. I may actually put some guppies in here and do a little bit of a document, or a little bit of a deal on that as well. That way people can see that in fact they do live as well. There's the molly right there. Good picture of her through the magnifying glass. Hopefully I can catch her like that when she's having babies. So I started this fish tank probably a little over a month ago. When I started out, I put in a molly, and then I put in a second one. I have two in here right now, but this particular one I want to show because I'm hoping to catch her. She's actually pregnant and just thriving in this saltwater tank. She eats good, she's healthy, she's active, quick. Just to try to get a better picture of just how big she really is. She's just huge. I'm hoping that she gives birth here shortly. Once she does, I'm hoping that I'm here to catch it so I can film it, because I'd like to show you guys. I've seen mollies give birth before in saltwater tanks, and it just seems like it's a much easier process for them, more natural, being they are brackish water fish. And this one is so healthy. I'm holding off actually on adding other livestock to the tank at this time, even though I think the cycle has pretty much run its course. Just because I want to give her an opportunity to have the young, and I was trying to hopefully catch it on camera so I could show you all the same. Just very busy fish though. You put food in there, she's on it right on the spot. The male, he just sits in the back. You don't even see him right now. So busy I can't keep her in focus at this. I wanted to get a big picture to get a close-up of her. I've been thinking about doing maybe different videos on specific fish. Picking a fish, doing a video explanation of, you know, how they have their young, what their best living conditions are, what they live with. Let me know in the comments below if you feel as though that's something that you'd like to see, and if it is kind of a fish that you'd like me to do a video on. Okay, so I'm just going to be taking some water right out of the tank. I wanted to take the water, you know, I'm going to take basically just a cup full, and I'm going to use it for all the tests. That way we got all the water we need. She's starting to have some. Little baby there. There's one. Well, she's in a saltwater tank and she's having babies. Okay, so those are the babies. I only caught actually one of them being given birth to. I was waiting for more, and then I noticed as I was waiting that there's a whole, I can't even count them all, but they're moving like that. There's a whole batch in here. Already swimming. It's a lot of them though. These are all born in a saltwater tank. They all seem to be doing healthy. The mom seems to be really healthy. It's just lucky that I got one that, because there's the mom right there. Close up of her. But there's the babies. You can see them. You can't really see the Be nice if I could catch her letting one out while she's big like that. So we missed the actual birthing, but there's proof that there's babies in there and that she had babies in the tank. I'm going to see if I can get the magnifying glass on them. I just can't seem to get a good angle. They seem to be scattered all over the rock. But they really like it up there in that top spot up there. Right where I can't get a good picture of them. Okay, as you can see the mollies in here. This is about 2 days after they were born. They've already started to grow, actually. The tank is just actually riddled with them. I don't know how many exactly there are in here. They are kind of a good cleanup crew, though. Mollies are known to eat hair algae, brown algae, diatom algae. They've been aggressively picking at the rocks. This is a new tank. I originally put the molly in here for the sole purpose of just establishing the tank, getting the cycle to go. It just so happened that she likes it so much that she actually had some young, and the young, you can see them, they're all over the place. There's one popping in and out down there, some in the back there behind the rock. She's doing really well, this one right here. You see from the pictures before, she's actually much skinnier now. I don't doubt that she may actually give birth again, because they can give birth up to 8 times after being inseminated. The male is actually in the back. I've been trying to get a picture of this male, but he is very shy. I mean, I come near the tank and he immediately hides behind the rock. Both mollies have been living here real well. The salt water has actually been a positive for them, because I believe that when I got them, they both had freshwater ick. Cleared it right up. They both survived real fine. I just wanted to put this video out there because I know there are people that are questioning whether mollies can really live in salt water or not. Well, here's proof that they can not only live in salt water, but they can actually breed and have young. The young can survive in salt water. The mom doesn't even seem to be aggressive towards eating them. Most freshwater tanks I've had in the past, the adult molly has actually went in, aggressively ate her young afterwards without separating them. This one seems to be completely avoiding that, which is great, because the only problem is now is I'm actually trying to start a saltwater tank here, and the tank itself is actually cycling, which it's not complete, but once it does complete, I do want to start adding corals and other fish in here. Mollies themselves in general don't do well with other corals, that type of fish. You know, they can get stung, they can die. Other fish from the, you know, depending on what you put in there for saltwater fish, are more aggressive. They can actually pick on them, chew their fins off, kill them. We'll have to see what happens with this one. She seems to be really healthy, really aggressive, always eating. She seems to be doing a wonderful job of keeping up with the diatom algae and stuff that's been accumulating on the rocks here. I don't have the lights on all the time. As you can see, if you look at the rock, most of it is still fairly white. This is about 30 days old though, so I mean that the amount of diatom algae I've had in 30 days here is pretty slim. The water tests have been coming out pretty good. I still need to lower my phosphates, and my ammonia hasn't quite dropped to zero. Once that does happen, I do plan on actually moving on to the next phase of corals and that type of thing. But we'll see here how long this takes to actually complete. I have been feeding a little bit more than normal just because of the fact that she was pregnant. I wanted to make sure she got a chance to have her babies. I wanted to see how they would go in the account, or excuse me, in the tank here. But yeah, that's the mollies here a couple days after birth. They seem to be, I'm not going to say they're all there, but there seems to be quite a number of them. The mom doesn't seem to be thinking that they're food, which, you know, in most tanks I've had in the past with mollies, they eat them as fast as they get rid of them, so or as fast as they have them born. So this is kind of a different experience, but we'll see how it goes from here. I just wanted to touch on that, and thank you.